Coming up on episode 4, an interesting move by Dovetail Games shutting down their product Flight School. After just over half a year of public beta, X-Plane 11 finally releases, and quite possibly one of the best add-ons ever made for a flight simulator, Orbx Innsbruck. All this and more on episode 4 of SIMCAST. Welcome back to SIMCAST. After a year sabbatical, SIMCAST is back on a bi-monthly basis. You can expect a new episode every second and fourth Saturday of the month. The episodes will be shorter, cover more news, and be more to the point. We've also partnered with FS Elite, who will be providing us with the news for the duration of the shows. As with the last series, giveaways will happen on a monthly basis, and all details of any giveaways will be announced at the end of each month. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. First up, the demise of Dovetail Games Flight School. In a post on Facebook last week, Dovetail Games announced that they will be shutting down their Flight School product. According to them, they had two ideas in mind. One was to create an entry-level sim for people that were new to the hobby, and the second was to implement technical functionality to build upon in the future. Although the exact reason as to why they shut down Flight School was not disclosed, they do state that they don't want to compromise the depth and complexity demanded by more experienced flyers. If you already own Dovetail Flight School and you have saved data, that will remain on your Steam library. However, Flight School in its entirety has been pulled off the Steam platform and is unable to be purchased. It's never fun to see companies shutting down things so soon after they've launched. However, I just hope, and I have everything that is possible to cross in me, that this only means good things are going to come from them. However, as I've stated many a time before, I am not confident whatsoever. Next up, LAMINAR Research have released finally X-Plane 11 out to the public. It is out of public beta. You can buy it from their store for a reasonably priced $59.99 or the same price from Steam. As always with X-Plane, buying it will entitle you to free upgrades all the way through any version numbers which are relevant to X-Plane 11. This includes any airport improvements. For those of you who didn't try out the public beta, X-Plane 11 comes with some pretty cool default aircraft. They have everything from a Cessna 172 to an MD-80 to even a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter, a Boeing 737-800, and the list goes on. For those of you who are hardcore NG fans, you'll be happy to know that there is now a mod available for the freeware 737-800 for X-Plane, which gives you functionality such as LNAV, VNAV, and almost complete FMS suite, complete with enhanced systems and updated flight dynamics. For those of you who are on the fence about X-Plane 11, you can also try before you buy with a free demo. A new release from India Fox Echo, what a name for a development group, releasing the EUROFIGHTER TYPHOON. This nimble fighter jet is a combination from the works of Leonardo, Airbus Group, and BAE Systems. The jet is a highly agile fighter designed to perform very effectively during dogfights. Now, I've actually never heard of these developers before, due to the fact that I am really not a fan of military jets, so I'm unable to comment on their reputability and how detailed their add-ons are. However, according to the product page on SimMarket, the aircraft has a high detail exterior and interior model, a high fidelity cockpit interface, as well as a custom flight model. On the face of it, it doesn't sound too bad. If you're interested in getting the product, then you can purchase it from SimMarket, and it will set you back a reasonable price of €30. A decent price for a good-looking and well-performing rendition of the popular European fighter jet. It's almost time for a new Las Vegas. Last year, I said that Fly Tampa's Corfu scenery was definitely one of my all-time favourite sceneries, and it still is to this day, although Orbx Innsbruck has kind of taken that top spot at the moment. However, Fly Tampa have revealed the first preview shot of their recently announced Las Vegas scenery. As you all know, Fly Tampa are renowned for their high quality and craftsmanship, and adding Las Vegas to my scenery library, especially from the guys at Fly Tampa, is something I cannot wait for. Last up on the list of big releases is without a shadow of a doubt the ultimate scenery that any flight simmer could ask for. This is Orbx's rendition of Innsbruck. Now, I could sing this scenery's praises all day, but you know what? Just go get it. Your life will be changed. Flying the circle approach to runway 08 has a whole new meaning now you have that scenery. It is fantastic. You can buy the scenery through the Orbx Direct website for the price of $39.95 Australian dollars, and it will be the best 40 Australian dollars you have ever spent. This scenery was created by a guy called Jared Marshall, and in typical Orbx style, or well, Jared Marshall style because he's the one that did it, no detail has been spared whatsoever. He's even gone to the extreme lengths of modelling 2,500 kilometers squared of the area surrounding Innsbruck at 1 meter 30 centimeters and also 60 centimeters, depending on how close or how far away you are from the airfield. You can see a picture that showcases the whole coverage area on the screen in front of you. However, more information can be found at the Orbx Direct website. All I can say is, congratulations, Jared. It is a true masterpiece. Okay, now on to the section we're calling the sub-news. If you remember last year, it was a quick fire section where we go through all of the smaller news articles, summarizing as we go. Okay, so first up, Flight 1 with their Ultimate Traffic Live soft release, which is essentially a beta release. We are now in 2017, where it is acceptable to be charged to be a beta tester. Anyway, Ultimate Traffic Live, what is it? It's an AI package suite, if you will. According to what I've heard from various sources, it takes the data from real-life schedules and injects them into Flight Sim on the fly, no pun intended, which means because it's being dynamically loaded into the sim, it doesn't have to read through a bunch of schedule files. Therefore, your FPS and your VAS is significantly improved. I bit the bullet, I bought it. It's alright. It really is alright. It's not a bad effort. They do need to update the models. They do need to update the liveries. But once they've done that, I think it will be a pretty solid product. It's just a shame I had to buy it when it's in beta. Next up, Mega Airport Frankfurt version 2 update from the guys at AEROSOFT. There is a bunch of things that they're changing, mainly to do with AI traffic. However, the biggest update in that list I can see is the fact that they're adding dynamic gates via the Control and J method. I don't understand why people are still using Control J. We have SOD. Use SOD. SOD is amazing. I can't commend it enough. It's actually fantastic. Next up, Imagine Sim are previewing their Ultra HD textures. I hate it when people say that. It's like those clickbaity YouTube titles. Oh, FS 2004 in 5K realism textures, 2018 must watch, you know, plane crashes, whatever. It's crazy. It's absolutely annoying. However, they did showcase it with their Ultra HD textures, and this is for the upcoming scenery Singapore 2017. If you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. On April the 1st, I actually thought we were being trolled by Level D. They released an update for the 767 after I'm pretty sure it's been about a decade now since they did anything with it. It now works in Windows 10, and they've actually just gone on to update it as well for P3D. So if you missed the 767 and you're a Windows 10 user or a Windows 10 and P3D user, then you're in for a treat. You can actually use it now in Windows 10 and Prepared. RF Scenery Building, one of those software development company names that I never understand where they get it from. They have announced the ANCONA FALCONARA airport in Italy. The code is Lima India Papa Yankee. The team have said that they estimate they've finished about 70% of the scenery, so it shouldn't be too long before you can buy it. Orbx are updating Stockholm, and it will be, of course, a free update. I'll read you the little snippet that I have on my page. Orbx is hard at work updating Stockholm Arlanda Airport. The add-on was released over a year ago, and despite being of amazing quality, Orbx felt like this airport deserved an update, and perhaps rightfully so, since over the last year we've seen some amazing sceneries coming from Orbx with super cool and exciting features, such as Orbx flow technology for animated traffic and people that Stockholm is lacking. We already knew that Orbx was working on an update that was announced a while back, but now we got to see some previews of what we can expect from it. The update for Stockholm will bring with it some updates to already existing features, but also some really new features. To begin with, Stockholm will make use of the traffic flow technology for animated traffic. There will also be more people, luggage, carts, buses, trucks, and other vehicles to make the airport feel as alive as it is in real life. Next, they have redone the entire autogen area, and this should give you a modest performance boost according to their post. To round it up, they have retextured a lot of terminals. Terminals 5F, 5A, 5B, Terminal 2 and Terminal 4 have all got new textures that are of higher quality and more detailed. Also new will be the interior in Terminal 5F. One more thing to note is that sadly with this update, although massive, will not include moving jetways that were promised some time ago. But with such an amazing update to look out for, I'm sure we can overlook that for some time. I didn't really want to cover this because BLACKBOX's way of doing things really pisses me off. However, they've started making GA aircraft. First of all, aside from releasing an incomplete Airbus, they decided that they were going to release a Scottish Aviation Bulldog. 5 minutes later, they're releasing a Cessna L19 Bird Dog, neither of which I care for. I just want the bloody Airbus to work. So if you're interested in some bush flying from a BLACKBOX product, quite literally flying in a bush, then you're more than welcome to check that out. IDS with more updates for Newcastle and also Boeing Field. They've announced that Boeing Field and Newcastle aren't too far away from release. However, they did say that last year, so take that with a pinch of salt. However, having said that, they are highly anticipated sceneries, although their IDS Manchester was a bit of a flop in my eyes. Although they've said it's not too far from release, they haven't given a time frame. However, Boeing Field is finished and being optimized to ensure the best performance available. Next up, JUSTSIM releasing Luxembourg for P3D/FSX. Again, I'm a little bit on the fence about JUSTSIM. I've heard some sketchy stuff about them. I've also heard some good stuff about them. They seem to be churning out sceneries faster than BLACKBOX are churning out GA aircraft. Something is not right there, but whatever. If it's good quality, I guess we can't complain. The rendition of this airport apparently is compatible with Orbx OpenLC EU, features high-resolution textures and modeling, beautiful night lighting effects, a custom autogen surrounding area, and full automatic seasonal changes. JUSTSIM will also update the airport to include SOD. This update should arrive in about 2 weeks according to the product page, and you can buy it from Sim Market for €18.80, which is a bit of a weird number, but there you go. A developer named Bridge has showcased some previews of CHENGDU, if that is how you pronounce it. ICAO code Zulu Uniform Uniform Uniform. It's the main hub for Air China, Sichuan Airlines, Sichuan, and Chengdu Airlines. We don't know much about the project other than so jetways will be included. Looking at the screenshots of the add-on, progress is coming along nicely, so let's hope it won't be too long before we can add this to our ever-growing list of scenery, and it should also come with some sort of pronunciation guide. AEROSOFT A330 update, new images, they're saying it's in beta. I saw a cup of coffee and an iPhone on the tray table and a PFD on the right hand side of the aircraft that didn't work. We'll see what happens. From what they're saying so far, they're fine-tuning the fly-by-wire, and other areas like AOC step climbs and AOC pages are also progressing well. There's also been some talk of performance with the dude, whoever that is, claiming the FPS are already terrific. SimWorks Studios releasing their Phantom 2. Again, I'm not a military person, but apparently if you are a fighter jet lover, this is something that may interest you. If you decide to take the plunge, the model comes with 2 variants, the Bravo and the November. I hope that's the way you say it. And includes the VRS TAC Pack so you can take your simulation to the next level. Even though it's an iconic 1960s aircraft, many air forces plan on keeping it in service until 2020, proving its undeniable reliability and utmost relevance in your hangar. Some of the key features of the Phantom II is 2 different versions, which we've just mentioned. Availability of the F4's complete arsenal, again this is TAC Pack, comes with a detailed aircraft carrier, the USS Sea Coral, so you can really test your skills. Actually, I might try that myself. To end, all in all, an immersive flight model that will make you feel involved from A to Z, or Z, Americans. Next up, we have some exclusive screenshots of Rome from an Italian airport developer. As you can see, the scenery does look fantastic from the shots, with plenty of work going on with the night lighting. IAD. Whoa, were they actually called IAD? As if? Sorry, I actually thought we didn't have the name of those developers. Turns out they're actually called Italian airport developers. IAD have worked really hard on ensuring it uses the latest techniques from Prepared and implementing the use of SOD. There we go, that's what I like to hear. SOD is being used for the night lighting, the windsock animation, and even the Pappy lights. Good job, IAD. I'm liking you already. One for the X-Plane fans, airworthy designs with previews of the St. Martin scenery that they're working on. This scenery will cover not only this island, but will also cover a lot of islands in the region, including the following airports. Damn it, why do they always give me things I cannot pronounce? L'Esperance, Antigua, St. Barthélemy, and Saba. The Caribbean scenery package will come with a lot of features such as photorealistic HD coverage, custom HD buildings, custom HD traffic, airport interiors, and much more. The package is being developed for X-Plane. A release date is not yet known, but the team is aiming for October this year. I don't know what's going on anymore. AEROSOFT announced ICEBERGS for Flight Sim. We're just going to move on. Samsung 3D releases a Munich REALCITY VFR. €12 and 22. A separate purchase is required for the P3D version, which costs the same as the FSX version. The scenery features ground textures for summer and spring. Presumably autumn and winter textures will be added at a later date for an additional fee, as they did with their Luxembourg scenery. Additional features of Munich include custom buildings and freeways with traffic, and you can purchase the scenery from the Samsung's website. This is the best part of this article. For best results, they recommend you flying your aircraft between 2,600 feet and 3,400 feet above the ground. Honestly, you don't do yourself any favors when you say stuff like that. Next up, SimBreeze has released HURGHANDA version 2 for FSX and P3D. The latest version boasts an impressive list of features. Some of these include the surrounding airport area, including signage, hotel complexes, and even HURGHANDA Marina. Not only is the main airport included, but you also get another one nearby which I can't pronounce, Hotel Echo Golf Oscar. That's included with the package too. They're also giving you nearby beaches. Of course, the airport will have complete coverage of the signage, night lighting, and will use SOD to operate the jetways, with 3D people wandering the airport and safe docking signs at all gates. It should be an immersive experience. See, another developer using SOD. This is what I like. AEROSOFT dragging out the CRJ once again. I'm bored of this now. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able... Actually, didn't we cover the CRJ this time last year? I'm pretty sure we did. However, article states it's been a bit quiet lately on the AEROSOFT CRJ front, but some of the beta testers have revealed a little more information about the product. Firstly, you can check out the video above, which shows some of the new sounds, FPS improvements, and more. The team have been working hard on fixing things for LNAV and double ADFs. Of course, there are still some bugs to iron out. Almost done with the sub-news. Just a few to go. NAVIGRAPH showing off their latest update to the charts. Now, for those of you that actually enjoy reading charts and enjoy looking at procedures, NAVIGRAPH have always kind of been the best in their field of this. And their new product for the NAVIGRAPH charts is definitely proving to be a promising one. They've made a video, and the video shows exactly what you can expect. And although it's very short and sweet, it looks bloody awesome. I didn't think you could really do much more with a charts product, but apparently you can. So there you go. The biggest change that they've made is that they are changing from Lido to Jeppesen charts. This is a change that many may take a while to adapt to because the way that you view the charts are slightly different, but it gives you the same information. However, you can see it all in the video. As they say, save the best till last, and it's Coronado with the PA31 Cheyenne version 2. Is that how you pronounce it? They call it the most classic turboprop ever built, and it is now ready to enter your hangar. Coronado have just released their anticipated Cheyenne 2, and it can be yours for $40. That's all we're gonna say on the matter. Okay, that is the end of SIMCAST episode 4. I hope you enjoyed it. Before we end, I want to mention two things. One, next episode, I would like to run a Q&A. So, if you have anything you would like to be answered during SIMCAST, then now is the time to ask it. I'll be collecting all of your questions below the video, then randomly selecting a few to answer, and we will go from there. The second thing I want to mention is the guys at FS Elite. We have now formed a little partnership with them, so it means that all of the SIMCAST news comes directly from them. I will leave all of their links below, but at the moment they are proving to be the #1 for flight sim news and keeping everything neutral, and they're not biased towards one thing or another, which is pretty nice. So hopefully this will be a lasting relationship. If you're watching this video on Saturday, that means that Project Fly version 2.1 is released. I should have really included that as some news, but whatever. Version 2.1 of Project Fly is released. We'll cover that in the next SIMCAST properly. So if you are a member of that or thinking about becoming a member of Project Fly, then you'll see that we've updated a lot of things and it's very nice and very aesthetically pleasing, and also functionality-wise is pretty spot on. So that's enough. This episode has gone on for far too long. I hope you enjoyed the return of SIMCAST. Thank you very much for your support and also your viewership, and I'll see you for episode 5 in 2 weeks. Bye bye for now.